Coming in with two XLX2 ESCs, two 2400 kV Speedrun motors, and a whole lot of carbon fiber, I bring you Vision.
Nervous, hyped, excited. Honestly, I am just overwhelmed with all of them right now. My God, I'm almost starting to sweat and I didn't even hit the road yet. So the last time I did anything regarding more than one motor operating at the same time was back in 2018 when I ran Jet Lag, which was my drag bandit that I had a little EDF on top. That's a pretty cool project. It's a few years back. And then we had TwinTurbo with the twin EDFs on top. That was also a pretty cool project back in 2019. But this is a totally different caliber. Whoa!
This build took about 3.5 months for me to do. I was in absolutely no rush to do it. Now, the reason why it took so long, instead of just buying it all at once, I actually wanted to focus on one area of the vehicle before I actually made it to the next. Now, obviously, this is the front. I started with the front, ordered more parts, then I went to the center, electronics, rear, and then we completed it. Now, before I explain any further, let me just go over a couple of things regarding the carbon, because obviously there's a lot of carbon. From CRCU, CustomRCUpgrades, we have a carbon kit that also goes on Vision. Splitter, we have the front air dams, we also have the front chassis plate, steering bell crank, if you guys can see that in there, servo holder. It also has aluminum standoffs, which is really nice. We have a front and a rear tower, if you guys can see in there, also 100% carbon. Now we have a whole carbon chassis on Vision. It is from Scorched RC. We also have the top plate. Additionally, it is really nice and sturdy. We also have a dual PPS motor mount, if you guys could see that. Very easy to maneuver, manipulate, and change your gears if need be. You don't have to take the whole thing out because the motor won't slide this or that. Very easy if you're going to do a dual motor build. Now, regarding the receiver, we see both of our antennae coming out over here instead of it going somewhere over here. I wanted it away from all the electronics, so I actually put it all the way up in front. So these extended wires come all the way through here and come out through there, and they're also protected by shrink wrap, and they're just zip tied on right there. And if I want to remove it, I just clip them, and hopefully we won't get any interference if we go long range. Now, what are these extra little tie rods up here when, oh, we already don't have front shocks, so they're already locked out, just like on Spartan. But we also have these tie rods locking out the body posts. Now, if you guys can see over here, there's a little bit of space. It's really hard to see, but you can see that little amount of space over there. As wind pushes down, it actually acts as a little shock, so the body could actually mold and take form of whichever way the wind wants to push it down without it being like stubborn and like, I'm gonna stay this way, and then bam, car goes off road because of aerodynamic inefficiency. So hopefully that holds up pretty well. That's a new feature that I added to Vision, and everything is pretty solid on that. Now, as for the rear, it is just 100% locked out. Obviously, there's nothing spongy about that area. It's just completely locked because we need the rear to stay up as much, so we have a decent amount of rear downforce without it popping the front end up. Starting in the front, this is our receiver. Now, keep in mind, both of my ESCs do not power the receiver. Well, then what does? Well, both the power wires are taken out of the ESC wires. When they're both routed over to here, they come up through here, and they're both ported into a single channel, obviously two, because that's our trigger. But how are we getting power? We have a BEC that runs off a separate power supply with this little XT60 connector. Plugs in here, power goes into the BEC. BEC distributes power to receiver. So with that being said, neither ESC needs to focus any slight power difference just to power the receiver. I wanted every single thing to be as equal as possible. So right now it is. And this separate power supply will also eventually power fans, but this is only stage 1 of Vision. So that's really just the base stage. 1721, 2400 kV motors. We're gonna be running them on 4S and then Twin 6S right after. Now, if you're curious to see how Vision is armed, I'm actually going to show you guys real quick, because I'm not going to show you exactly how I arm it back out at the road. I'm just going to have it set, ready to go, and yada. So that is what I'm going to do. Step 1, I want to make sure both my batteries are plugged in. Here are the on and off switches. They're both together. All right, so ESCs have power, but I want to make sure that it's actually off. Okay, so now that that's plugged in, After I actually plug the BEC in, now obviously ESCs are still off, power goes directly here. Now this is an instant on, there's no switch for the BEC. So we have our power coming all the way through here to the BEC, directed over to the receiver. Now we can see our little red light. Receiver's like, where's my remote? I don't know where it is. Well, that's our next step. We're gonna power this guy on right over here. Vision, you guys can see that right over there. This should be green, and there we go. Now we actually have a receiver connection. Now what's pretty cool is that when the BEC is on, everything is connected except for the ESCs. I can actually control the steering without the ESCs even being on. Keep in mind, they're not even on. Now I actually want to turn the main ESCs back on. Technically that BEC acts like a little ESC, so I almost said the main ESCs. Well, a BEC is technically a small ESC that delivers a small amount of amperage, maybe 20 amps total. Now, whenever I run this car in particular, I always turn it on and I will always calibrate it. The first thing I do before I actually even run the thing, I want to make sure everything is running properly because there's a lot of money invested into this. Obviously, you want to make sure everything is proper. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this on, full throttle, not squeezing it too hard. There we go, nice. Full reverse. Now, release. And there we go. Vision is armed and ready to go. There's a lot of power here. Now, obviously, when you have no tires and the vehicle isn't loaded, you never want to actually rev this thing with any kind of RPM at all, honestly. You might hurt the motors, ESCs, you might spin a bearing, it might lock, whatever. I don't even want to go on. Alrighty, tidy lefty loosey, guys. If you guys are hyped for this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more. Also, I'm going to have a link in the description if you want to get your hands on some of these beautiful yet really friggin' massive batteries. I'll have a link in the description and the comments below if you guys want to get your hands on some of these. Definitely check them out. Now, it is kind of windy today. Hopefully you guys can still hear everything. I have the little camera mic thing on the GoPro. Hopefully it'll help. All right, we are all zeroed out and we're going to be running the 4S per ESC Innovation RC Edition 10,000 milliamp batteries from CNHL. Hopefully we can get a good number. Let's see what it's got. So friggin' smooth. Alright, let's see what that was. There we go, guys. 131 miles an hour. That was amazing just on a 4S. Alrighty, so you guys can see we have our balance lead over here, balance lead over there. Obviously they have to run the same exact voltage to a single ESC, so we're running 4S and 4S. Very, very good pass. We aren't even geared up as high as I ultimately intend to go with this setup. Motors honestly are not even that warm at all. So there's a lot of potential, and on this warm-up pass we hit over 130 miles an hour. And here are our Innovation RC Edition 4S batteries. Very, very good. Now that was a really, really good pass on Vision, and we are gonna run on 6S. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm very nervous. This is something that I've been working on for such a long time, and it all comes down to this. Let's see if it's worth it. And now here it is, guys. Finally, we are gonna be running 6S in parallel systems with Vision. I am so nervous, excited. Honestly, a little bit scared because there's a lot of power going on here, but fingers crossed. Let's see how well he can do. Alrighty, guys, here we go. We are now zeroed out, and we're going to be running these 6S 10,000 milliamp IRC Edition batteries in Vision. Yeah, let's see how well we can do. That's all I can say. I am very nervous right now. Alrighty, guys, here we come. Oh my God. much power, holy moly. That was about half throttle. That was really about half throttle. That is crazy. Hurts to see a car like that go flying though. We gotta go, go, go. See, now the damage doesn't look too bad. Everything is still in place. We are gonna need new tires though. What was that? 135 miles an hour, and it was gaining quick. That was absolutely crazy. Well, we do have minimal damage, which is really, really good. Well, it's not good to begin with, but it's better than horrible damage. Car handled really, really well. Otherwise, it's just a windy day, so I really can't express this vehicle 100% what I really want to do. But these batteries have absolutely proved its worth. I was maybe 50, 60% power out. I wasn't really flexing my finger that much either. I even got on it pretty slow. But other than that, everything is okay, minus the tires. You can see the big old chunk right there and the scrape in the back too. Nonetheless, vehicle is still, actually I think it could still run. Where's my remote? Oh, I'm holding it. Oh, I'm holding it, that's right. Well, check that out, guys. Vision is still alive. As nice as that is, we will not be running again today. Now, Vision is still operational. That is very, very good on my end. I'm really happy because, trust me, a lot of time, effort, and money has gone into this build. Makes me really happy that this thing can still drive effortlessly. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to be ran through all over again, but we're gonna come back faster the next time. These batteries are wicked. Yeah, that was maybe like 60, maybe 60% power at 135. That was ridiculous. And we could still run this thing on 8S, which is, yeah, I honestly, I might not even get there. Alrighty guys, now if you want to get your hands on some of these beautiful, beautiful batteries right over there, I will have a link supplied below and in the comments if you want them. Alrighty guys, so if you enjoyed this video watching Vision fly and actually get a solid number, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe below. We're gonna have a lot more content coming out with these batteries as well as Vision, and I'm also gonna do some how-to videos on how I made him and just everything about him too. I'm sure it'll strike a lot of interest on you guys, so why not? I think I'll get like a $2 coffee or something. $2,000 car, $2 coffee. You know, that'll make me feel like a little bit better about today. Yeah guys, as always, stay safe and have a good one.